Whatever you do, be cool. Dominic spent the entire summer preparing for middle school. He studied the map and he memorized hallways. He wanted to know where he was going because his one goal was he didn't want to look like a lost 6th grader on the first day. So the morning comes, he's got his backpack on and he's nervous. I'm nervous, but I'm ready. First class of the day is Spanish, and the Spanish class is all the way down in the 8th grade hallway, which already feels terrifying. So he's walking through and there's older kids everywhere. And when you're in 6th grade, the 8th graders seem huge. He's walking down the hallway. He's feeling good. He's acting cool. And then he sees a group of older girls, and his confidence kind of takes over. These girls have perfect hair. They're laughing. They're leaning on their lockers. So I told them, get lost. That's an insane thing to say. Did he cry? He decides to try to play it cool. He says hi to the girls, smiles at them, and winks. Ladies? But because he was focused entirely on trying to impress these girls, he didn't see what was right in front of him. A janitor, the janitor's cart, and the janitor mopping up someone's vomit. He runs into the janitor, he slips on the vomit, and he falls into the big trash can that's on the janitor's cart. Oh, loser! He climbs out of that trash can as fast as he can and he runs to that Spanish class. And all that effort trying to look cool, not seem weird, failed. Because for the rest of the year, he was known as Puke Boy. That's unfortunate. I want to be a bird when I grow up. She was in 1st grade and she really wanted to be a bird when she grew up. She thought about it every single day. Well, one morning, during lunch at school, she noticed these red bumps on her arms and her neck. And she whispers to herself, it's happening. It's happening. She thought her transformation to a bird was happening right then and there, and she was sitting down preparing for feathers to pop out of her skin. She then freaks out and grabs the nearest teacher. Mrs. Johnson? Sweetheart, what is wrong? I'm just a kid. I don't want to become a bird yet. What? The teacher had no idea what that meant. I have no idea what that means. The nurse gets called. Mom gets called. Turns out she was allergic to something she ate during lunch. And it was pretty bad. She had to be rushed to the hospital. That's crazy. Yo, when this kid was young, his parents told him, sweetie, your hamster got too big for its cage. We had to give him to a new home. Aww. He was like 8 years old and he believed it completely. He was devastated, but he eventually got over it. He just figured, well, Chester's out there somewhere. I hope he's happy. Fast forward a few years. Now, the kid's in middle school. One day, him and his older brother are arguing over something stupid. Yo, I finished my homework early to play the PlayStation. Mom said I could. I don't care, dude. I'm not getting off. I'm staying on this all night. You're a freaking jerk, dude. Yeah, well, you're a baby. It escalates. The kid then unplugs the PlayStation in the middle of a match, and his older brother freaks out. You know what? You really think Mom and Dad gave your hamster to a new home? What? Yeah. Follow me outside. What do you mean? Where are we going? So now he's confused. The older brother leads them both outside. The older brother grabs a little shovel and he begins digging in the middle of the yard. You really thought, oh my God. What's going on? There it is. The older brother pulls out this little knit bag. He opens it and inside was the dead hamster. See, look, it never went to a new home. The cat frickin' killed it. Mom and Dad lied to you. For the rest of his middle school career and high school, that little brother was a menace to both his parents and his older brother. He said he never forgave them. On Friday, Mrs. Gable tried to sound profound. She told the whole class that even when today ends for us, it's still today somewhere else on Earth. She was standing, looking out the windows, trying to sound inspiring. Class, remember, the sun never truly sets on today. Even when we go to sleep in Ohio, it's still very much today in the Pacific. It's a bit of perspective for you, students. Well, fast forward to Monday morning, 8 a.m. Johnny had missed the Sunday night deadline for a very important history essay. Instead of turning it in on Sunday night, he emailed it to Mrs. Gable at 6:30 in the morning on Monday. He got to school and he hoped for the best. Johnny, I got your email. You sent it this morning at 6:30 a.m. Monday. Sunday's over. That's a 0 for lateness, and you know my rule. There are no excuses. Then Johnny cooked. Actually, Mrs. Gable, you told us on Friday that even when today ends here, it's still today somewhere else. And at 6:30 in the morning, it was still 11:30 p.m. in Samoa. So based on your lesson from Friday, it was still turned in on Sunday. You could literally hear the gears grinding in her head. The whole class was staring at her like she had just been checkmated. She didn't find that time fact cool anymore. She sent Johnny to the office for disrupting the lesson plan. Johnny, Mrs. Gable's crashing out right now. Look, you're a menace. You're technically right. I could tell you, hey, doesn't matter, your paper was late, you get a 0. but I think you're smart. So, I'm gonna make her give you a B- if the essay's good, but you gotta promise to stop using the Pacific Islands time zone to bypass getting your homework done on time, okay? I promise, Principal Milkman, and you got a B-. Tell kid's a genius. This elementary school banned Pokemon cards, especially the trading of Pokemon cards. Too distracting, too many arguments, it was a big problem. Teachers started confiscating them at the door. So for the first week, it was pretty quiet. But then one kid one day shows up with stacks of something else, rectangles of construction paper, laminated in clear tape. And each of the construction papers had something random drawn on it. I made my own trading cards. He made his own trading cards. Thousands of them. So what he did is he created a formula, and then he just repeated that, like cards of a mailbox, a broken pencil, a rock with a smiley face on it. And on the back, he would write stuff like trash can, 100 HP, wet sock, ultra rare, milk, super ultra rare. And he called them real world cards. He would sit at home for hours, cutting, measuring, drawing, making sure that only a few packs had the milk or the wet socks. And he would sell these packs at school, $5 each. People laughed at first, but they started taking this seriously when someone pulled a golden fire hydrant. There was only one golden fire hydrant card that existed in these packs. And so students started wondering, what other rare cards were they? And business began booming. It became a bigger problem than the Pokemon cards, and the school tried shutting it down, but this kid kept making them and selling them. And because it was only construction paper, colored pencils, and tape, he could do this anywhere. People started making counterfeits, so he had to figure out how to show that his were legit. It was insane. Eventually, the school found a way to shut this down as well. But for some time, this kid created the biggest trading card game that school had ever seen. Even bigger than Pokemon. When he was 10, his grandpa asked him, "What do you want for your birthday?" And he says, "A brick." "A brick? Why?" "Because my parents still have this super old TV. If I throw a brick at the TV, we'll have to get a new one." "Oh." "I'm just kidding. Maybe just some Pokemon cards or something." The grandpa just smiles and nods. A couple months later, this kid's birthday comes around, and there's a beautifully wrapped present on the table. Heavy, perfect corners. The kid opens it. Inside was a single brick. The grandpa's losing it. "You're crazy. I can't believe you remembered." And the grandpa leans in and says real quiet to him, "Wait till your mom's in the kitchen and then waste the TV." So the kid's mom goes into the kitchen to grab the cake. The kid takes the brick, smashes it in the TV. TV is destroyed. "What happened here? Now we gotta get a new TV." Yes. The grandpa took the blame for throwing the brick at the TV. "I don't know why I did that." Then the kid says, "It's okay, Mom. Please don't be mad at Grandpa. I'll help you pick out the new TV." "Okay, fine. You're right." "It's okay, Pops. You'll be okay. Just sit down and relax. I'll clean this up." The mom then leaves to grab the broom. "Nice work, kid. I love you, Grandpa." What a nice story. It started with strawberry milk. Cafeteria strawberry milk. Everyone knew this one kid loved it. I freaking love it. So one day, his friend group makes a deal. "All right, so for every strawberry milk carton you finish, we'll all pay you $1. $1 per milk?" Easy. So kid starts sliding him these strawberry milk cartons across the table. And now he's got a bunch in front of him. Guys, this is gonna be awesome. I love strawberry milk. The first carton goes down easy. The second carton, still good. Third carton, confidence is growing. "I got this." All right, it's $3 so far, man. By the time lunch is halfway over, there's a crowd forming around him, cheering for him. "Come on, man, you got this." That's really impressive. Milk. That's $15 so far, man. The kid keeps drinking. The money keeps stacking. Carton number 18. He stops in his tracks. Silence. And then it happens. A violent, unstoppable stream of neon pink vomit explodes across the lunch table, covering trays, shoes, people's faces. Everyone begins to scatter, running away from this horrible scene. He got to keep the money. But ever since that day, he has not been able to drink milk ever again. And strawberry milk was his favorite. It's kind of sad. Secret Santa Day. Rule, you pick a name, you don't say the name you picked. Teacher's walking around with a basket. Everyone picks a name. All right, pick and shh. Pick and shh. Good. Pick and shh. After everybody picks, this one girl asked another girl, "Who'd you get?" And for some reason, this girl completely forgets the whole point of this. And she says, "I picked Tyler." And this is where this all just crumbles. Tyler's head shoots up. "What? Kayla's my Secret Santa? Dude, I'm cooked. She's gonna give me a horrible gift." "Well, who do you have?" "I got Billy." "Nice." At this point, the whole system collapses. Everyone's telling each other who they got. And then the teacher got mad, and then everyone else got mad, and they blamed it on the original girl, Kayla, who said she had Tyler. So if it wasn't for her, this might have gone smoothly. But it didn't. Hey, happy holidays. This school sold popcorn every Friday. Plain, no butter, no seasoning, just small, sad bags for $1. Well, one day, this kid Tyler shows up with a frickin' plan. He brings a small lunchbox to lunch, and inside, dozens of mini popcorn seasoning shakers. Ranch, nacho cheese, cinnamon sugar, literally anything. Hey, yo, can I use that, man? Totally, homie. $0.25 per shake. Now, at first, people thought this was kind of ridiculous. $0.25 for one shake of popcorn seasoning? But once people started trying it, it was game frickin' over. He would stand on top of the lunch tables, shaking seasonings into people's popcorn bags while kids are sliding and throwing him quarters. It was kind of bussin'. And Tyler wouldn't just stop there. If somebody was broke, he would say, I season it for you now, you bring me $0.25 tomorrow. Or else, I'm writing your name down. I don't forget. By the end of the month, all the popcorn was seasoned to perfection thanks to Tyler. One day, Tyler's counting out $20 in quarters when the principal comes up to him and says, we do not run seasoning businesses in this lunchroom. You're done. And he was shut down. You gotta respect the hustle, though. This kid missed English class, first period. And he shows up to second period like nothing happened. People were wondering where he was. One of his friends leans in and asked, yo, why'd you miss English class? We turned in our essays today. And the kid just goes, oh, my cow was giving birth. Oh. He says it like it's the most normal thing ever. He still had mud on his boots, there was like hay coming out of his pockets, and he smelled a little weird. Probably from that cow birth. People just nodded, like, okay, yeah, farm kid stuff. Okay. And so what if he missed English, you know? His essay wasn't gonna win any awards at the state fair anyway, but his cow might. Huh? Okay. If you talk, I'm writing your name down, and you sit alone tomorrow. Understand? At this one small town school, the lunchroom rule was brutal. No talking at all. If you talked, your name went on the small board, and you had to sit alone by yourself at lunch the next day. Well, there was this one menace of a kid named Owen, and Owen was trying to cause some trouble. Watch this. He decided to drop a bunch of money in front of this one kid sitting down eating his lunch. The kid goes, oh, hey, is this yours? Name on the board, alone tomorrow. This kid's a menace. He never says a word, but every single lunch period, he's trying to trap kids into talking. And people are falling into this trap. He's flicking food at people, accidentally bumping trays onto the ground, straight up kicking kids in the shin. What the? And the teachers think Owen's a saint. Every time they look over, he's just sitting there, arms crossed, smirking. By the end of the month, the quiet lunch board is full every single day, with kids spread apart all over the cafeteria because they were sitting alone, except for Owen. Eventually, the school's like, that's it. This is obviously not working, so we're getting rid of this rule. And the rule was gone, and it was all because of Owen. What a frickin' rascal. This class was visiting a local science center for a field trip, but when they all got on the bus, the teacher was like, wait, did anybody bring the name tags? Miss, that's your job. Turns out this museum requires name tags, especially for field trips, and they were already on the bus. So right then and there, she pulls out a Sharpie. All right, foreheads it is, and she begins writing the kids' names on their forehead. First kid, Braden. Next kid, Leela. Then Derek. Some kids try to object. No, I don't want this. Well, that's too bad. She's like, oh, it'll wash off. It doesn't. By the time they get to the museum, every single one of the students had their own name written on their forehead, and it looked absolutely insane. The chaperones were silent, stunned. They were very embarrassed. But the museum didn't do anything. They said, oh, look, there's students and there's their names. Everything's fine. Well, 3 days later, kids still had ghost letters of their name on their forehead because it was permanent frickin' marker. Parents were absolutely furious. There was even kind of like a protest at the next school board. Moms were holding signs that said, my kid is not a whiteboard. And the teacher retired early that year. Yeah, sounds like she was kind of losing it. This kid had terrible handwriting. Like, teachers would sigh whenever they saw his papers. Good lord! So when this kid's class had to turn in a handwritten essay, he decided he was gonna actually try. I'm gonna actually try. So the night before it was due, he sat down. He had his pencil there, and he was ready to get to work. He took his time. If a word was sloppy, he erased it. And he did it again. Slowed the letters down. He was doing a really good job. The next day, he turned it in proud. It wasn't perfect, but it was way, way better than how he usually writes. Well, get this, the teacher looks at it and goes, whose handwriting is this? Mine. You proud of me? No, your handwriting has never looked like this. Somebody wrote this for you. Who did it? I promise you, I wrote it. No, you didn't. This is cheating. Cheating? No, it's handwriting. I worked hard to make my handwriting better, so now you're getting smart with me. All right, I'm writing you up. She drags him into the hallway. She's lecturing him about academic honesty. He tries to say, listen, I practiced. You told me to practice. She doesn't believe him. She calls home. The mom shows up. She knows how hard her son son worked on this. She's furious. Okay, so my son is in trouble because he tried? He worked on his handwriting and now he's getting written up? Are you out of your mind? It doesn't make sense. The handwriting progress was too fast. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. They bring in the principal and they make this kid write a paragraph in front of them to prove that he actually did write this essay. He sits down, he writes it. It took him a long time, but he did it. It was the same improved handwriting. The principal looks at the teacher. You owe him an apology. Teacher, red-faced, mumbling. I'm sorry for accusing you. Sure. They left, he gets an A on the paper, and she never confronts him about anything ever again. After that year, she retired. This kid was sleeping over at his friend's house, and he wakes up in the middle of the night, hungry. I'm hungry. He remembers that there was graham crackers in the kitchen, and he figured that'll work. So he gets up and he steps out of the room, but the second he lays foot in the hallway, What? A motion sensor alarm goes off. Within seconds, the lights turn on and his friend's dad comes barging out of his bedroom. Who's out here? You. It's just me. I was getting a snack. The dad then pointed to multiple small boxes on the baseboard of the hallway. You see these, kid? Motion sensors. No one's allowed to leave their rooms after midnight. He heads back into the bedroom and his friend's awake. Hey bro, I'm sorry about that. Dude, that's so messed up. You have a curfew for inside your house. I know, it sucks. And this was so uncomfortable for him that he never slept at that house ever again. Stephen was a quiet kid that got bullied for everything, but one day he decided to change that. It was a second-floor classroom. Stephen was sitting by the window, and he decided that today was the day he was not going to be bullied anymore and that he was going to become a legend. Now, the funny thing about Stephen was that he was actually shredded. Well, the teacher was mid-lesson, and Stephen opens up the window, and he jumps out. There was a single-story building right outside this window, so he just jumped down onto that. And then he started dancing. Like full-on dancing, poses, spins, his hands were in the air, frickin' jazz hands. One kid near the window said, "Bro thinks he's doing a halftime show." He was hyped. He thought he did a great dance, so he hopped down to the courtyard, watched back in school, and sat down in the classroom. But the thing is, nobody even saw him do it. Just that one kid by the window. Nice work, man. He was livid. He did all that because he wanted to be this legend of a kid who danced on the roof of the school building. But no one noticed him, so the next week he came and he did it again. Same class, same window, same routine, and again, nobody noticed. Did anybody see that? See what, Stephen, huh? The world does not revolve around you. Pay attention to the lesson. I hate my life. When this kid was in 5th grade, his teacher had one really strict rule. She never repeated herself. She would explain things once, and if you didn't hear it, well, too bad. Well, one day, the class was working on a really big assignment that was due the next day. The teacher stood up and said, "All right, listen up. I'm only saying this once." Then she explained the instructions in one long, fast speech. The second she was done, this kid, let's call him Ralph, raised his hand. "Excuse me, can you just repeat that last part, please?" "Ralph, what's the rule?" You don't repeat yourself?" "Exactly, so figure it out." A few minutes later, Ralph was tapped in the shoulder by one of his classmates. "Hey, I got you, man. I wrote all of it down. Here." He took the notes, relieved, super thankful, and he started copying them down on his own piece of paper. And he thought that that was the end of it, but it wasn't. The teacher came over and snatched the notes off his desk. "Absolutely not. If you didn't listen the first time, that's your problem." "Are you kidding me?" Well, Jake just sat there silent, didn't say a word. The next day, the class turned in that assignment that was due. Once the teacher was done grading it, she said, "You didn't turn anything in." "Yeah, because I didn't hear the instructions." "Well, that's a 0. And you're a..." "What did you say?" "You heard me." "No, what did you say?" "I'm sorry, miss. I don't repeat myself." I mean, it was crazy, but it kind of worked because from that day on, the teacher went easy on Ralph, and she even let him do that assignment over again. "Hey, Kyle." "What, Chad?" "Nice mustard on your shirt, you frickin' slob." "Whatever, man. At least I didn't fail English 3 times. "Good story, man, but in what chapter do you shut up?" That was good, right? What was that, man? I could eat a can of alphabet soup and poop out a better comeback than that. In fact, stay there. I'll be right back. Perfect. Hey, Chad. What? Look. How did he do that? How did he do that? This hungry college student accidentally built a $200 million empire. So this guy, Seth Berkowitz, was in college back in 2003, and one night he was craving cookies. Nice, warm cookies. But there was a problem. He didn't have a car, and nobody delivered cookies that late. So he took matters into his own hands. He baked a batch himself. He tried it, and they were pretty dang good. And he figured other students probably craved the same thing late at night. So he started selling them. At first, it was a simple side hustle. He would take orders, bake these cookies in his tiny dorm kitchen, and deliver them himself around campus until 2 a.m. Baby, word spread pretty fast. By 2004, he had so many orders that he had to rent out a real kitchen, hire some help, and turn this into a full-on business. And let me tell you, business was absolutely booming. And what started as a small campus gig turned into something he could have never imagined. By 2018, his company, Insomnia Cookies, had over 260 locations across the United States, Canada, and the UK. That same year, Krispy Kreme bought a majority stake in that company for around $140 million. And today, Insomnia Cookies is worth over $200 million. And this started all because this dude wanted a snack back in 2003. That's absolutely insane. This guy was angry for years. We're gonna call him Patrick. Well, 29 years ago, when Patrick was in 3rd grade, he was sitting at a lunch table with some other kids. In the middle of lunch, Patrick pulls out a small bag of carrots. That's when another kid, let's call him Jimmy, looks at him and says, "Look everyone, Patrick's a carrot boy." And for some reason, that incident really stuck with him. Nobody ever brought it up again. All throughout high school and into adulthood, he built up this anger, this raging anger. And whenever he ate carrots, the memory would pop up. Carrot boy! Well, a year or two ago, as a full-grown adult, there's an impromptu high school reunion. He decided to go. He gets there, he has a few drinks, he eats some food, but that's when he notices Jimmy. I don't know. That old anger welled up. That's when he saw a plate of carrots sitting out. He grabs the plate of carrots, he ran over to Jimmy, and... I guess I'm still carrot boy, huh? I'm still carrot boy? Bro, you good? What are you talking about? Carrot boy, remember? You called me carrot boy and you were all laughing at me in 3rd grade? Guess I'm still carrot boy. I'm sorry? I mean, I don't know what to say. They had all forgotten about it. 7 of his old classmates unfriended him on Facebook, and Jimmy blocked him on everything. This kid's mom is sus. The person that shared this story said that his friend's mom wouldn't let them watch SpongeBob. Hey, we should watch some SpongeBob. No. My mom will get so mad. Dude, she's in the other room. Like, it's just SpongeBob. She's not gonna get that mad. They're watching SpongeBob. No. Patrick is such an idiot. What are you doing? Oh my god, Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We're just watching SpongeBob. It's not a big deal. SpongeBob is not allowed in our house, Kyle. Go home now. But now. Okay. And you. Get upstairs right now. Bring your Bible and the rosary. I'll meet you there in 5 minutes. Yes, ma'am. Dear God. Why was she so against SpongeBob, you ask? It's because she thought the holes on SpongeBob's body would induce evil, sinful, and dirty thoughts. This mom is the worst. When this kid was in middle school, his mom one day forced him to give all of his Pokemon cards to his cousins. These weren't just regular Pokemon cards. These were 1999 Pokemon cards with a few first edition holographics. So imagine that today. How much money would that be? A crap ton. Well, 3 weeks after he was forced to give his cousins these cards, he was at their house for a birthday party, and he wanted to check on those cards himself. He went into their room and looked around. That's when he saw a box, and in that box were the Pokemon cards. Torn up, spit on, chewed up. These cards were completely destroyed. He said he never forgave his mom for that. And recently, he has shown his mom how much those cards could have gone for. And needless to say, she knows how bad she messed up. The Haunting of Maple Street. As Halloween approached, the neighborhood of Maple Street buzzed with excitement and a hint of fear. For years, children shared stories of the old Jenkins house. Jenkins' house was the creepiest, oldest house on the street that had been abandoned for decades. Mysteriously, the house remained untouched since the day Mrs. Jenkins was found dead inside. Well, on Halloween night, the neighborhood was buzzing with anticipation. Everybody was out trying to get their candy. Well, 3 friends, Jess, Sam, and Lucy, were walking by the old Jenkins house. But to their surprise, there was a flickering, creepy-looking sign on the front yard that said trick or treat. Oh, we shouldn't go up there, you guys. You heard those stories, right? Yeah, something doesn't feel right about this. Oh, shut up. Those stories are fake. I want my candy. Let's go. The door creaked open. It was an older lady standing there. A trick or treat? The old woman slowly turned her head up and said, treat? Or trick? The three kids ran away in complete fright. The sound of laughter echoed the streets. The old Jenkins house came alive once more that Halloween. Those three kids never forgot what happened on that doorstep. When this person was 14 years old, he really wanted to be a dog, but obviously he couldn't. So one day, when he was home alone, he decided he was gonna try to drink and eat like a dog. So he put Fanta in a bowl and Cheerios in another bowl. He then put them on the bedroom floor. He got down on his hands and knees and began licking the Fanta and eating the Cheerios as if he was a dog. After that, he used his back right leg to scratch his ear as if a dog would. He said he was enjoying himself. He said he was having a great time. But little did he know his dad was in the doorway this entire time watching him do this crazy stuff. His dad looked at him horrified. Dad, no. His dad walked away and he never mentioned it ever again. Crazy things that happened at a friend's house. When this kid was in middle school, one night he was having dinner at his friend's house with his friend's family. The dinner went well. The food was really good. But once everyone was done eating, the mom did something kind of repulsive. She took everyone's plates and put them on the floor. She then called the family dog into the kitchen and had the dog lick all of those plates clean. The mom then put those plates that the dog just licked clean back into the cupboard. And everyone in that family acted like it was completely normal. He said he was disgusted and he threw up that night because he was probably eating his food off of a dog-licked plate. He never went to that house ever again. This principal had the weirdest rule. Students at this high school were not allowed to wear hoodies around their waists. You know, what you do when you're too hot in your hoodie, so you just tie it around your waist, go about your day. Well, this was an actual rule, and it was in the school handbook. One day, one student asked the principal, "Hey, so just curious, why aren't we allowed to tie our hoodies around our waists?" "Oh, it's because when people do that, it makes them look like farmers. And, I don't like farmers that much." The principal was dead serious, and I don't really understand how it made people look like farmers. That's dumb. Black markets kids ran in their schools. This one did not work out so well for this guy. When he was in school, he tried to run a business. So the school had two Wi-Fi signals. One was public for the students, and the other was private for the teachers. Obviously, the private Wi-Fi was the faster one. Well, this kid somehow got his hands on that Wi-Fi password, and he thought to himself, you know what, I'm gonna sell this password to other students at the school. And so, he found his first customer. "I have the teacher's Wi-Fi password. Do you want it?" "Yeah, I want it. I'll sell it to you for 50 cents. 50 cents? Easy. Here you go." He felt good. He made his first sale, and he was planning on making a lot more money that day. So after that next class was lunch. He was going to walk around and try to sell this password to more students. "I have the private Wi-Fi password. You want to buy it off me?"
Oh, Billy told me it already.
"Oh, okay. Hey, so I have the teacher's Wi-Fi password."
I got the password from Billy.
"Hey, you want to buy the teacher's..."
No, Billy gave it to me, man.
Does everyone have...
Yeah, I think so.
Billy! So I've had this dream multiple times in the past week or so, and I wrote it down. I'm running around this large, futuristic city. I knew that there was a creepy and strange man that was chasing me and my friends. He would get close, and then we would run to another place and hide. He never caught up to us, but he was always very close. I woke up as he was about to find us. Weird dream, but I wanted to know what it meant. So I did some digging and I found this app called Yoru X, and they actually interpret your dreams for you. So I got it, I copied the dream that I wrote down, and I pasted it inside their app. And they gave me a dream interpretation. Okay, that actually makes perfect sense. Pretty thorough interpretation as well. I like this. The app's called Yoru X. If you have any
good night আর বাই
সহজে কোনো কিছু পাওয়ার মজা নাই কিন্তু আমগো দোস্ত জিসান কি কম
ও
ভাবি লাগে বেটা লজ্জা লাগে না কি ওর কথা বাদ দে পারো তুই যা
জামুই তো
তুই চুপ থাক
আমি তো আপনাকে চিনি না।
চিনো না যে আজকে চিনলা আরো চিনবা আস্তে আস্তে চিনবা আর শুনো
আরে বেন সাহেব নতুন নতুন সম্বন্ধ তো তাই চিনতে পারেন নাই ওই যে আপনার বান্ধবী তুলি আছে না
আমার তাহলে বিশাল বিপদ। আমি তাহলে কোচিং এ কেমনে যাব, পড়াশোনা কিভাবে করব, আমার তো ভয় লাগতেছে।
কি খবর?
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কি খবর? 3, 2, 1। আর আজকে রাত 10টা, হ্যাঁ? রক্ত কেন? ইতিহাস লিখবো, ভালোবাসার ইতিহাস।
ভালো আছি, আপনি ভালো আছেন?
আমি তো ভালো আছি, তো তোমার বোন কোথায়?
আচ্ছা একটা মিনিট আমি কল দিচ্ছি। এক রাতে ভালো হয়ে গেল, এটাও আমার বিশ্বাস করতে হবে? দোস্ত আমার না ভয় লাগছে।
কি করবি? চেনা চেহারা না হলো কি চেহারা, কথা তো বেশি চেহারা ওজন বেশি।
আপনি না শুই না না দেখা সব জায়গা ফেলছেন বাবা।
হ্যালো,
হেই হোয়াটস আপ প্র্যাঙ্ক ম্যান।
কে?
একটু হলেই তো তোমার ফোন হাওয়া হয়ে যেত।
তুই তোর ফোন আর কোনোদিন পাবি না।
কেন?
তোর বাবা তো তোর ফোনটাকে একদম আছাড় দিয়ে ভেঙে শেষ, এমনকি পানিতে চুবাইছে।
আউট অফ কিউরিয়াসিটি হয়তো দেখা করব, বাট আই এম নট দ্যাট মাচ ইজি, অলওয়েজ রিমেম্বার।
আজকে যদি তারাটা থাকতো আজকে তো দিতাম একদম। এই খালি স্কার্টেন গার্ডেন।
এই যে আপু, এসব গার্ডেন ফার্ডেন যায় না, আমার ভাই ব্রাদাররা আছে, আপনার একদম কামড়ায় দিবে। না 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 ব্রো, এই যে আপনার ফোন প্র্যাঙ্ক ছিল ব্রো, চিল চিল চিল। রাকিব ভাই, আপনি এসআই রাকিব ভাই না? আপনার কথা আমি অনেক শুনছি। আপনি কিন্তু মানে বুঝের লোক। টেরে তোলেন।
এই হোসেন আলী ক্যামেরা আগেই কইছিলাম আমার বস ফেমাস। হ্যাঁ 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 ভাই একটু যদি ধরতে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ শিওর।
তো কিভাবে যে কনফার্ম হয়?
এটা তো এদিকে না, 3 নাম্বার গেট ওইদিকে, শঙ্কর গলি বোধহয় গেটের বাইরে। আপনি ভুল আসছেন, যান।
ভুল আসছে, কিন্তু আমি কি চিনতে পারবো?
ও আচ্ছা, আপনি দ্যাট বোরখা গার্ল।
চিনতে পেরেছো তাহলে না?
আই লাইক গুড গার্লস। ফলো কর তো, ফলো কর, যা। এতে কই যায় দেখবি, যা। সারা জীবনে প্রথম কাউরে প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে যায়, নিজেই আজকে প্র্যাঙ্ক হয়ে গেল।
মুনিয়া, তুমি আমাকে বলেছো যে তোমার কোনো বয়ফ্রেন্ড নাই।
না না, বয়ফ্রেন্ড না, আমি ওর বয়ফ্রেন্ড, আমি ওর ফিয়ান্সে। ওর সাথে আমার বিয়ে নেক্সট।
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
আমার জন্য?
এটা তোমার জন্য একটা নতুন ফোন দিলাম।
এই জন্য তাহলে তোমরা এতক্ষণ নাটক করছো?
নাটক না, তোমার ফোনটা পুরনো হয়ে গেছে।
কেন
নতুন ফোন।
আমরা প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে পারি না?
একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট কথা ছিল তোমার সাথে। এমন করলে কেমন হয় যদি এই এন্টারটেইনমেন্ট জার্নিতে আমি জয়েন করি তোমার সাথে?
আরে বেন সাহেব, নতুন নতুন সম্বন্ধ তো তাই চিনতে পারেন নাই। ওই যে আপনার বান্ধবী তুলি আছে না?
আপনি যে কি করে, আপনি তাতে কোনো কমন সেন্স নেই? আমার বাসায় যদি সবাই দেখে ফেলে।
রাত 10টায় আমি ফোন দিব, আর একবারের বেশি যদি রিং হয়।
মামা মালটা তো জোস। সরি 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 ভাবি,
তুই পারবি, তুই পারবি।
দেখ কিভাবে কই।
সেটিং মেটিং নাই তো?
সেটি
সেটিং মানে বুঝো না, পেন্টেরিতি।
সবে ইন্টার সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে পড়ি।
সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে এখন ক্লাস 9 এর পোলাবেনও প্রেম করে।
মামা মায়া তো অস্থির। এক্সকিউজ মি আপু, এক্সকিউজ মি, আপনার নামটা যদি বলতেন একটু।
শুনেন বেন সাহেব, আমার বন্ধু জিসান, ঠিক আছে? আপনার বান্ধবীরে শুনুন।
মারি নাই তো, শাসন করছি। ভালো লাগে না, একটু মারতেই পারি, তাহলে কিন্তু খুব খারাপ হয়ে যাবে। তুই রবিল নামে সুন্দর একটা রিক্সা ডাক।
ভাবি ঠিক আমার বন্ধু জিসান দেখতে, প্লিজ ভাবি আপনি একটু নেন প্লিজ ভাবি।
দেখেন ভাবি, কালকে সারা রাত তোমার আমি কল দিচ্ছি।
সারা রাত? তাহলে আপনি শুনুন আপনার ভালোবাসার মানুষের অতীত বর্তমান। পাগল কোন একদম ঠিক হয়, ওনার ব্যথা লাগে নাই?
ব্যথা তো বেশি তুই।
তুহিনের ব্যথা লাগছে না?
বন্ধু তুই চিন্তা করিস না রে, ভাবির মন ঠিকই গলে যাবে।
ভাবির মন তো ঘুরবে, কিন্তু